Hey, this is Vic Dorfman, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up content upgrades using ThriveLeads and your Drip account. So here I am on my website, and I've opened up a post that doesn't have any kind of opt-in on it. And this particular post is about a WordPress hack that affects the Optimized Press theme plus the Digital Access Pass membership plugin. And this post is really about security and malware removal. So an appropriate content upgrade in this case would be some kind of document or some kind of checklist to help you prevent or remove malware. Okay, and we actually have exactly that kind of document. We have a WordPress malware removal procedure, which you can see here. That was written by our malware removal specialist, Christian. And so that's the content upgrade that I'm going to offer on this page. And now on this actual post, I explain how to get rid of the hack. So I'm not going to place the content upgrade directly in the middle of the content, which would probably be a little bit annoying, I think, because these people are trying to get rid of the hack. So I'm going to actually put it at the very bottom. Okay, so now that I've determined where I'm going to place the content upgrade, I'm going to go ahead and grab the URL, and I'm going to go over to my Airtable account. Now you don't have to do this. This is just something that I use to help stay organized, and I do recommend Airtable because it's simply a super amazing tool and it's free. And I'm going to add a new post, okay, a new record, and the post title is, let's grab the URL, let's grab the post title, WordPress hack, yeah. And we're going to place that in here. Okay, and now we're good to go. So, the other thing that I've done here in Airtable is just in order to keep everything really organized so you don't get confused inside of your Drip account and you don't get confused inside of your ThriveLeads account, it's really good to have some sort of convention, some sort of structure and system for organizing your content upgrades. Otherwise, especially if you do a lot of content, you will get confused. So now you can see here I have the name of the content upgrade in the first field. Then we have a numbering system. Then we have a description. I'll skip the description just to keep this video short. And then the asset URL. Okay, so that's the thing that we want. We want to grab the actual URL of the item that we're going to share with our audience. Okay, and here it is. So I'm going to copy the link, view only. That's right. And I'm going to paste it into here. Hello. Paste it into here. There we go. Okay. Now, the other thing that I've done to systemize this is I've decided to use short names to describe the content. And here's what I mean. So if I have a document about hiring in Eastern Europe, then I have a short name that's EE hiring. And what the short name is, it's a descriptive short name, no more than 3 words, to help you identify the content at a glance really easily. So this one is about WordPress malware removal. Cool. So I'll just call it malware removal. And you may have noticed that in the next field, in the next column, the drip tag that I'm going to use inside of my Drip account has been automatically created because I have a formula here that creates the drip tag, and it's always in the same format, which is content upgrade hyphen and then the short name. Sorry. So content upgrade malware removal is the value in this case, right? Now, the confirmation URL. This is the URL that somebody is redirected to after they've opted in. So again, I have a naming convention here, and it's going to be vicdorfman.com/CFM, okay, just to know that this is a confirmation page. And then it's going to be the short name again, so malware hyphen removal. And then the download URL, I actually wrote this wrong. It's going to be malware hyphen removal. And the download URL is where you send people once they click the confirmation link to actually give them the content that you promised them. Now, just to keep this video simple and short, I'm going to send people directly to the asset URL. So I'm going to send them directly to this document after they've confirmed their email, because I don't want to create like a whole bunch of download pages quite yet. I'll probably have somebody else do it. Okay, and then the final field here, well, there's an attachments field, but it's not in use because everything is in Google Drive. And then there's the blog posts containing this upgrade field, which is just basically a linked record in Airtable, so-called linked record, where I list all of the posts that contain this content upgrade, okay? Because you can have more than one post using the same content upgrade. So now that that's out of the way, we can actually create the content upgrade for this post. So let's head over to ThriveLeads. And for content upgrades, what you really want to do is you want to create multi-step lead shortcodes. That's not the only way to do it, but I found that it's easy and effective to do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create, Add New. Okay, and you want to give your lead shortcode, again, a name that's part of a system, part of a naming convention. And in this case, what I do is I simply put in malware removal. And if you notice back on my Airtable base, this whole thing is called a base, that if I go back to the short name, you can see that the short name is malware removal. Cool, so that's what I'm going to call it. And let me just check to make sure that that's what I called my other content upgrades. Yeah, you can see I have one here called EE hiring, which refers to hiring in Eastern Europe. And that way I know that it's, and then I have one here called content upgrades. Okay, and that's a content upgrade about content upgrades. And so I'm going to call this one malware removal. And I'm going to add a Thrive box. Oh crap, okay, sorry, not a Thrive box. We don't want to add a Thrive box, we want to add a lead shortcode. There we go. And we'll call that malware removal. Add the lead shortcode. Okay. So now that we've added the malware removal lead shortcode, we'll click to edit it. Okay, and then I'm going to create a new form. And you can just call this form anything. I'll call it original, or you may want to give it a descriptive name that refers to the way that it looks. So we're using a lead pages style form with a progress bar, which you'll see that in a moment. And then I'll click create form, but really you can call it anything. Okay, and then you're going to click to actually edit the design of the form. Okay, get a little sip of coffee here while this loads. Now what I'm doing in this video, by the way, is I'm basically following the exact procedure that I've laid out in this SOP, or standard operating procedure, and this is the exact process that we use in our business for pretty much all of our content. And I actually need to edit this just in one place to make it a little bit friendlier for you, I think, or for people who aren't in our particular business. And I'm going to do that hopefully by the time you see this video. But this is basically the exact process I'm following, and the only difference is with a video you can see it more quickly, right? You don't have to read through all that stuff. Okay, well, it's really taking its sweet time. While it's doing that, okay, I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to grab a piece of code. Okay, and what the piece of code is it's going to be the code for the lead pages style light box. Okay, because I had to do some modifications to make it look a certain way. And so I've placed that code on pastebin.com so you can access it, right? And it's going to be here forever, hopefully. You scroll all the way down and you grab you find the raw paste data here. Raw paste data, okay? You're going to take that and you're going to copy the whole thing to your clipboard. Okay, copy. Cool. And then you're going to come back to the ThriveLeads. Okay. Now, the one you want to select is multi-step templates. Okay, and the reason for that is because we're using a permission marketing approach. So we want to offer somebody the download and say, okay, if you want this, click here. Okay, and if you click here, then we'll bring up the lightbox and then you can opt in. So we're not putting like, you know, the name and email address field directly into the content. We're going one step beyond that in terms of asking for permission to market to our audience. So you could use any one of these really. I quite like the 054 number. Okay, so I'm just going to pick that one, but you can pick any one you want. And then I'm going to click choose template. Okay. Now you can see by default it says case study, how I increased my email conversion rate by 300% using content upgrades. Okay, and you can see that there are two states here. There's a default state, which is what you're looking at right now, and then there's a lightbox state, which is what happens when you actually click this link. So when you click this link, it'll bring up the lightbox. We'll bring up the lightbox, and this is what the lightbox looks like. Well, we don't want to use this default lightbox because it's a little bit boring. It's not boring, but we have a different one that we want to use. And so what you're going to do is you're going to click this HTML code link in the upper right hand corner. So you're going to click on that. You're going to highlight everything and delete it. And then you're going to paste the code that you just got from Pastebin. Cool. So save. Okay, so you can see that it looks a little bit different. Now, one thing that you have to do in this case is you have to click inside of the actual form. So I click in the upper left-hand corner. Okay, and I'm going to change the max width to make this a little bit wider, and it'll look a little bit better. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? Okay, cool. So now we have our second state, which is the lightbox that pops up when you click on the link. So let's click Save Changes. Okay, and let's go back to the default state and edit that real quickly. Okay, so this state really has two components, doesn't it? It has a title. In this case, it says case study, and then it has some copy. Okay, the title, the purpose of the title is to grab attention. Okay, and the purpose of the copy is to get somebody to click. That's the way I look at it, right? As a kind of old school marketer / copywriter, that is my mindset. So I'm offering a malware removal procedure, right? So I need to hook the person reading this with some kind of catchy title. So what can I say to them? I could say something like hacked. Okay, it's a little bit loud, but probably it works. And then I might write something like get our step-by-step procedure to remove malware from your WordPress website. Okay, now here's a little caveat. The way that Thrive works is if you start changing this text, it's actually going to remove the link that when you click on it, it changes the state from the default state, which is what you're looking at, to the lightbox, which is really annoying. Okay, so what I do in this case to prevent like fiddling around with that is I actually open the code of this state. Okay, and then I find the part that says how I increased my email conversion rate by using content upgrades, and then I'm going to change it with the body copy that I use. So I say hacked, get our step-by-step malware removal procedure and never pay for our, so get our step-by-step malware removal procedure and keep your website safe. Click here. Notice that I'm saying click here, right? It's a call to action. We want people to click. All right, so we'll click save. And this is what it looks like. So now it says hacked. Get our step-by-step malware removal procedure and keep your website safe. Okay, that's a little bit boring, so let me just modify the copy a little bit more. Get our step-by-step malware removal procedure and keep and protect your website from malicious hackers. That sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? Get our step-by-step malware removal procedure and protect your site from malicious hackers. Click here. Now, you'll notice that, by the way, if I open this code, that the link that precedes that bit of copy is like a complicated Thrive link. Okay, you can see that it's an event link. It's all of this stuff right here. Okay, so I don't want to mess with that. I just want it to work, and I've noticed that if you try to use the visual editor, it can actually mess it up, and then you spend forever trying to figure out how to get it to do the event manager again. So better not even mess with it. Better to just edit the code. So now we have our first state, and we'll save that. And we've got our second state, which is our lightbox. Cool. So now we have to actually connect this lightbox with Drip. Oh, and you'll probably want to change the copy for your lightbox and say enter your email address below to get your hiring procedure for Eastern Europe. So I'll say to get your malware removal procedure. In this case, I'm going to say our malware removal procedure. Oh, we'll say your malware removal procedure. Okay, that's fine. And then the next part you're going to want to do is to click inside of this first name email address field. So you're going to click on that. And then you're going to click connect with service. Connect with service. Okay, now I've already got a connection active here, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to go back and pretend as if this wasn't already here. So I'm going to remove this connection. This way I can walk you through the whole thing, right? So you're going to click create a new connection. Now, you may be tempted to use the API connection with Drip, but I actually find it easier to use the HTML form code, and there are a few reasons for that, but I think I'll just show you, and it should be clear why it's quite a elegant way to do this. So HTML form code, yes, and then go to the next step. Okay, so now it's prompting you to insert your autoresponder code. So that means we actually have to create a form inside of Drip. So let's head over to Drip and let's head over to Forms. Okay. Now you can see that I've already created two content upgrade related forms, and the way that I know this is because the naming convention that I'm using is bracket content upgrade close bracket and then the short name. Remember our short name from within Airtable? So the short name here is malware removal. So what that means is I'm going to create a new opt-in form in the format content upgrade malware removal, and unfortunately we cannot clone forms in Drip yet. That would really make things quite a bit simpler, because then you'd just be able to sort of go through and replace any information. But it is what it is, so we're actually going to create this form from scratch. Okay, malware removal. Okay. And it's going to bring up this screen here. Now we're going to do a few things here. The very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to disable the widget. Okay, we're not using the widget. The widget is the little pop-up that sort of floats up on the right-hand side of the screen. On the bottom, actually I can show it to you. If I click it. Man, I really need to get one of those new MacBook Pros. This computer is so slow. This is like a 2011 MacBook Pro, I think. It's obsolete. Okay, and you can see that the, well, eventually you will see that if I enable the widget, that is what it looks like. Okay, that's not what we're using. We don't want the widget. Okay, so we're going to disable it. Cool. Now, scroll all the way down to the bottom. And let's go ahead and add a first name field. Okay. Some people like to just collect the email address. Some people collect first name and email address. Personally, I like to be able to email people on my list and say, hey, John, hey, Becky, you know, to create a little personal connection. I mean, I don't know if it hurts conversions on my opt-in forms, but screw it. Okay, so you can see the label is first name and the identifier is first_name. And then I'm going to make this a required field. And I'm going to add the field. And what you then do is, again, some people like to ask for the email first and then the first name. I find that awkward for some reason. So I'm going to drag the first name field above the email address field. And then I'm going to click Save Settings. Okay. Now we're going to scroll up to the post sign up link up here. Okay. And we're going to put a custom post submission page. Now this is the page that your subscriber, your new subscriber, will get redirected to as soon as they submit the opt-in form. So I've already got that prepared, which is awesome. Here's my confirmation URL with an Airtable. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to go back to Drip. I'm going to paste it right there. Okay, and you can see that it's in the format my website /CFM, which is just short for confirm, /malware removal, which is the short name that we've been using throughout this whole process, keeping everything nice and organized. And I'm going to tick these two boxes. So I'm going to send an event to Google Analytics upon submission. Okay, and then I'm going to send the subscriber data to the post submission page. And the reason you may want to do this one is if you're using some sort of personalization, like maybe you're using people's name, or you're using their occupation, or any of a number of different pieces of information that you might send through to the post submission page. Okay, and then I'm going to click Save Settings again. And now I'm going to go to the confirmation settings. Okay, and it says, when should this form send a confirmation email? And I like to do this only to new subscribers, right? Because if somebody's already on your list and then they opt in to get a freebie from you, you know, they're already on your list. They don't need to go through the confirmation process again. That would only annoy them, you know. And then you don't really want to select never, because you want to use the double opt-in procedure, because it just results in a higher quality of list. It's the best practice in the email marketing world. Again, some people don't do it that way, but that's kind of how I've learned it, and that's how I prefer to do it. But maybe I'll change my mind in the future. Okay, from name is going to be your name, obviously. From email, you actually have to use an email that's associated with a domain. Like, you can't use a Gmail email. You can't use a Yahoo email. You need to have a domain specific email. Okay. And for the subject, I like to remind them what it is that they're getting. And if I actually visit my confirmation page, malware removal. Okay, well, this page isn't created yet, but I do have a page for the Eastern European hiring document. Okay, so I'm going to go to that, and this is the confirmation page. And again, I'm using the same systems, the same naming conventions to keep everything organized. So this is the confirmation page. Okay. And you can see that it says, this is Lily, she's sad. Okay, and you're going to see Lily here in just a second. Come on, Lily. Okay, this is Lily, she's sad. Why? Because you haven't confirmed your email by clicking the link in your inbox. That means that I can't send you my step-by-step procedure on how to hire rockstar Eastern European contractors to help you grow your business. Lily doesn't want to be sad anymore, so go to your inbox and click the confirmation link that I just sent you. That way I can send you my best material for free and we can both be happy. Make sure to check your spam folder, your friend Vic. P.S. Don't wait. 80% of people who confirm do so in the first 5 minutes and the rest never see my best material. And you can see that I have a countdown timer up here. It's a little jQuery or JavaScript timer. And so I'm just using kind of marketing, ninja marketing tips. And I actually copied this page from Ramit Sethi, who I think pioneered this particular style of thank you page. It's really clever, actually. But on Ramit's version, it's a picture of Ramit. Well, I don't have a picture of me being sad, and I don't think it really suits me to be like a clown. It's not my style. So I said, okay, I'll modify it and I'll use Lily here. It was a sad Asian girl. And she's cute, so you feel sorry for her, right? And then down here, it says, check your email to find the confirmation message from us. Find the email with the subject line, EE hiring, please confirm. Okay, so what I've done here is I've said, okay, the subject for the confirmation email is going to be short name plus please confirm. Well, no problem. I can do pretty much the same thing here. I can say, malware removal procedure. Let's say your malware removal procedure, please confirm. Or I might even say like your doc WordPress malware removal, please confirm. That sounds a little bit better, right? So you want to kind of craft this email in a way that will make people understand, oh yeah, I remember what it is that I signed up for. And then hopefully make them click so that they actually, confirm this stuff. Now for the actual confirmation email, I have a template. Okay, and let's go back to our document here. Okay, and you can see that in the document I'm explaining exactly what I've just showed you. All of the stuff that I've just showed you. It's in a little bit of a different order, but the same result. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to visit this URL. And this is that's the confirmation. So we want the post sign up, don't we? Okay. So we're going to visit this URL. Okay, I'm going to scroll down all the way to the bottom. And you can see that I've prepared sort of a template for confirmation emails. Cool. So I've got that in my clipboard, so I can go back to Drip. And I can highlight all of this stuff and paste this. Okay, so it says, hey, subscriber first name, hey John, please confirm that I've got your correct email address by clicking the link below. And then it gives the confirmation link and it says, as soon as you've confirmed, I'll instantly, oh shit, this should say, I'll instantly send you the goodies. I promised you. Talk soon, best, Vic, founder, MemberFix. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click yes, auto generate plain text version. And we're gonna click save email. Okay, so now we've got our email. And now we want to actually, for the post sign up, we want to edit that as well. Okay, for post sign up. So yeah, so for post sign up, it says once somebody submits the form, redirect them to the malware removal URL. And then once somebody actually confirms, okay, we need to send them to a custom post confirmation page, and that is the asset URL. So that is, they've already confirmed their email, so now we're going to give them the thing that we promised them. And we'll go ahead and paste that there. And this time I'm going to leave this unticked because I'm not going to do any kind of personalization on a Google Doc. And then I'm going to click Save Settings. Okay, and I've saved my settings. And now I can get my form code and paste it into ThriveLeads. So let's go back up to Form. And let's go ahead and click Activate Now, so make sure that this form is active. Yeah. And now here in the design section, you want to grab the part that says embedded, and you want to highlight that and copy it to your clipboard, and come back over to ThriveLeads and paste that code there. And one little tip is you can see on the very second line of the code, there's a headline. We don't need that. We're going to remove that headline because it's just going to add text to your form that you don't want there. So we're going to delete that. And then we're going to click Generate Fields. Perfect. So now we have our first name field and our email field. So we have to give these a description, and this is what's going to show up on the actual form before you type anything in. So we're going to put your first name, your email address, and I'm going to make both of those fields required. And I'm going to click Save. Cool, so now that means that this form is completely good to go. So I'm going to click Save Changes. And I'm going to click out of this. And you can see here, back on the lead shortcodes malware removal screen, I've got my shortcode right here. Okay, here it is, and I can click Copy, and it'll copy it to my clipboard. Now, before I actually paste this in some content, we have one more step to do. We actually have two more steps to do. The first thing we need to do is we need to actually create the confirmation page, don't we? Because when somebody opts in, the directions that we've given Drip is to redirect them to the confirmation page so that they can actually confirm their email address. All right, well, we use Divi Builder for pretty much all of our websites, or actually we use the Divi theme, which is really, really awesome theme. I absolutely love it. And we work with it a lot, both for ourselves and for our customers and clients. So if you ever need any Divi help, shameless plug here, get in touch with me. And I'm going to create a brand new page. And this is going to be a confirmation page for the WordPress malware removal document, right? And we'll say, we'll use the short name, right? So malware removal. Please confirm your email. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to set the parent as confirm parent. Okay, so what I've actually done here is I just created a blank page called confirm parent, and the permalink for confirm parent is CFM. So if I want to nest, if I want to make this like vicdorfman.com/CFM/malware removal, I make this confirm parent page the parent page of this child page. All right, and then it's going to change the permalink to be cfm/malware removal. Okay, and actually you'll see that when I save the draft. All right, so now I'm going to open the Divi Builder, and I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to remove the drip widget from this page, and I have a separate video about that. The reason I'm doing that is because it's annoying to have like an offer to opt in for something once you've just opted in for something and you're on the freaking thank you page for it. So that's kind of not cool to do. And then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to load the template from my library for confirmation pages. And you can see that I go to my library and here's my Sadly confirmation page. All right. And here's all of the cool stuff that we need. Now I'm going to open the text and I'm going to modify the text to reflect this particular content upgrade, because the default template uses the Eastern European hiring procedure. Okay, well that's not what this particular content upgrade is about. So now I'm going to scroll down, open the text. Oh, there's nothing here. Okay, so actually I think it's this one. That contains the copy. Okay, that's all right. That's the title. So this is Lily. She's sad. Blah 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 blah. Okay, and then we'll go and open this text, and this is going to be the body text. All right, there it is. And I'm going to say, okay, why? Because you haven't confirmed. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to format this just a little bit. The formatting got a little bit messed up. And said, that means I can't send you my step-by-step procedure on how to remove malware from your WordPress website. Okay? And then everything else stays the same. Yes? Okay. Your friend Vic, your amigo, okay, and then we've got a PS here. I'm actually going to make it lowercase. Okay, save and exit. Now one more thing that I need to modify here is I need to modify the little step icons at the very bottom of the page. So it's going to say confirm your email for the Eastern European hiring procedure, CEE hiring, please confirm. Well, we're doing a little bit of a different one, and we're saying that the confirmation settings is your doc malware removal procedure, or malware removal, please confirm. So that's what we're using. So let's paste that in here. And let's make it bold. Cool. And that should be it. That's pretty much all we need to do. So now we're going to publish this page. And now, by the way, if you have your drip form set up to redirect people to a certain page after they've opted in, and that page doesn't exist, then what's going to happen, and this will confuse the crap out of you as it did for me, is you're just going to be, it's just going to reload the same page that you're already on. And your audience is probably going to think, oh man, this doesn't work. And they'll probably like get annoyed and leave your site. So make sure you actually create your URL and that it's the correct URL. All right. And then everything will be hunky-dory. So now I'm going to check this confirmation page, make sure it looks good and says what we need it to say. Finish my coffee too. Got this really nice coffee from northern Thailand. It's really tasty. Okay, so looks like everything is correct here. Check your email to find the confirmation message from us. Find the email with subject line, your doc WordPress malware removal, please confirm. Click the confirmation link. Cool, so this page is all good to go. So we've done one step. Now we have just one more step to go to finish this whole procedure. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to Drip. And now we're going to go to the rules section of this form. Okay, we're going to add some rules. And rules basically answer the question, what happens when somebody submits this particular form? Okay, so we want a few things to happen. One, we want to give people a tag, right? So you want to tag the people who sign up for a particular content upgrade so you know the kind of stuff that they're interested in, and you can tailor your content around their interests. Okay, so you can sort of create these interest groups. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new action. And the action trigger app is going to be Drip. And then the actual action itself is going to be apply a tag. And again, we are using the same conventions, the same system. So let me go back to Airtable, and you can see here's my Drip tag. All I have to do is copy it and paste it in, and keeping everything nice and consistent. And then I'm going to save changes. Now we're going to apply one more we're going to apply one more action to this form, and that is going to be to put people into a campaign to deliver their content upgrade. Okay, so first we actually need to create that campaign. So I'm going to open in a new tab the campaigns link, and we're going to really quickly create a new campaign. And now the nice thing here is that we actually can duplicate campaigns. Unlike forms, we can just do a one-click duplication of a campaign, which is really nice and convenient. Okay, now I've already created the content upgrade delivery campaign, but I just did that as a means of testing. So I'm actually going to delete it, and I'm going to create it for you from scratch so you can see the process. So let me delete it real quick. Don't you hate it when people go on their videos while they're waiting for stuff to happen? Okay, there we go. So we're going to delete. Yes, I'm sure, mofo. That's why I clicked delete. Okay, now we're going to delete that campaign. It's going to think and think and think and blow the house down. Okay. So campaign deleted, cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate one of the existing campaigns. So I'm going to duplicate my original content upgrade delivery campaign called EE Hiring. And I'm going to click on this little drop down, and I'm going to click duplicate. Cool, so what name are we going to give this campaign? We're going to call it Content Upgrade Delivery in brackets, followed by, you guessed it, malware removal, which is our short name. And yes, we're going to copy the emails, and we're just going to modify the emails. So copy emails, yes. Copy campaign, yes. And now it's going to create the campaign that we had just made. And, you know, in your Drip account, obviously you're not already going to have these campaigns available. You're going to have to create them from scratch. Well, it's really simple to do. You just create the campaign from scratch per the document, because actually in my document I walk through how to do that. And you're just going to use basically a 2 email campaign. So it's only going to take a few minutes to create it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just activate this. Okay, just so I don't forget later. And then I'm going to head over to the emails tab and really quickly configure these emails. And the way that I set up this campaign, you don't have to copy me, but if you don't want to, but the way I did it is I said, the first email is going to be like a reminder email that said, hey Janet, in case you didn't see your malware removal procedure, here's the link again. Okay, so I'm going to give out that link one more time just to make sure that whoever opted in actually consumed it. All right. And you can even use like a trigger link and apply tags to people and apply like a lead score. Like if people are actually clicking your links, well, that means they're interested in your stuff. They're probably more likely to become customers. So you can segment those people and sort of market more to them because they're indicating that they're open to your messages. So I'm going to click on this first email, and I'm going to modify the title and the body. Oh man, I need another cup of coffee. As slow as this is going. Okay, so the title here is Your Doc, Hiring in Eastern Europe. We're going to change that to Your Doc. WordPress malware removal procedure. Your WordPress malware removal procedure. Or we could even say like, we could use the subscriber's name in the title. Okay. You don't really have to follow like a formula for these titles, but you want to make them kind of catchy somehow. Say, hey, John. Oh crap, make sure you get that other bracket, curly bracket. Hey John, here's your WordPress malware removal. We'll just say, here's your malware removal doc, smiley face, whatever, right? And then say, hey John, in case you didn't look at it yet, here's our procedure for, we're gonna modify this from hiring in Eastern Europe to removing malware on your WordPress site. Then I'm going to come back to my Airtable base, grab the asset URL, come back to here, and update that link. And then I might write something like, our malware removal expert Christian wrote this procedure from scratch. We really use it in our own business, and it really works. Enjoy. Best Vic, founder, MemberFix. Cool, so that's done, and yes, we're going to auto-generate a plain text version. We'll click Save. And now that email has been saved, so let's go back to the emails, and real quick, let's modify the second email in the series. Now the second email is basically just saying, hey John, do you have any questions about removing malware in WordPress? So I'm kind of fishing for potential leads, A, and B, the other thing that I'm doing here is I'm encouraging people to reply to my emails. Because when people reply to your emails, it signifies to their email provider or like their email app, like Gmail or Yahoo or whoever, that, hey, this is a person that you actually talk to. So next time when they receive an email from you, it's more likely to go into your primary inbox and not to go into like the promotions tab or social tab or whatever secondary tab. You want to be in the main inbox, right? That's where people are actually seeing your stuff and clicking it. You don't want to be relegated to a secondary inbox. So here we go. Any questions? Hey, John, do you have any questions about this whole WordPress malware removal thing? If you do, just hit reply and let me know what you think. I'm here to help. Best Vic, founder, MemberFix. Cool. So that's pretty much it. And believe it or not, people do reply to these emails, and you get some really valuable like intelligence and insight into your market, and you just get to interact with the folks in your market and see what kind of problems they face. Okay, so we are almost done with this whole thing, I promise. We just have a few small steps left to wrap this up. So now we're gonna go over to settings. And I know this is a long video, but obviously once you've done this a few times, it won't take you quite as long. Take you maybe, and plus now that you have the document in your hands, the document that I've created, you could easily give this to one of your VAs. Okay, and you could even use our hiring in Eastern Europe document to hire an Eastern European VA, because Eastern Europeans just do a freaking amazing job. So anyway, in the settings, all right, you want to configure all of this stuff. You actually won't be able to send emails until you configure this stuff. Okay, but it's all pretty self-explanatory, like your from name, your email, your postal address, you know, when you want stuff to go out, etc., etc. Cool, so that part's done. So we can actually exit out of here. And now we're back on our malware removal form, and we're gonna add an action. And the action that we're gonna add is drip, and we're going to start a campaign, or send a campaign. Now, which campaign are we sending? Well, we're gonna send the one that we just created, which is content upgrade delivery malware removal. Yes. And now we're going to toggle this little button here that says restart the campaign when this action fires. Now, what that means is that if like somebody opted into this campaign or went through this campaign before, and they opt in again to receive this form or to receive this content upgrade, then it will send them the campaign again. And I think it's a good idea to do this because if you're anything like me, you'll probably like download something and then like 6 months later you'll see it again and you have no idea where it is. Like, is it in my hard drive? Is it in my Google? Like, I don't even remember. So it's good to give people the option to resubscribe to a campaign so that they can receive the stuff. Okay, and then we'll click Save Changes. Well, now we've done everything we need to do in Drip. We've done everything we need to do in ThriveLeads. The only thing left to do is to put the content upgrade shortcode into your content. So let's do exactly that. So now I'm going to exit out of here. I'm going to exit out of here. I've got my shortcode in my clipboard, and now I'm going to edit this post. Man, it's a really beautiful day outside here in Phuket. Better get to the beach today. Don't want to be stuck inside making videos. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a blast. But, you know, beach greater than making videos. Okay. There we go. Okay, waiting for it to load. I don't know why I've got all this crazy, like, formatting on my post. But whatever, doesn't matter. I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom of this post, and I'm going to add the shortcode. There we go. Okay, and I'm actually going to also add a little bit of space in between the content upgrade and the comments section because I don't want to like cannibalize that space, right? I want it to be available. And I'm going to click update. Okie dokie. Now we need to actually test the form. You always want to test your form. Don't assume that it's working, because if you do that, you're going to get emails, as I have, saying like, hey Vic, what the hell, man? This form doesn't work. I can't get the content upgrade. And you're like, oh crap, did I really neglect to to test my own form? That's pretty amateurish. So don't do that. Don't be a rookie. Be a pro. All right, now we're actually going to test the form. Man, this is the longest video. I didn't think it'd go this long. But hopefully you've been watching it at 2x the speed. That's always what I do with tutorial videos. It's like, yeah, hurry up. And our content upgrade should be at the very bottom. There it is. Okay. Hacked. Get our step-by-step malware removal procedure and protect your website from malicious hackers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just test this form. So I'm going to click on it. Boom. There's our malware removal procedure. All the copy looks correct. So now I'm going to enter in my email address. I'm going to click download now. It should be taken to my post submission confirmation page. Yes, I am. You can see here CFM/malware removal, which is our short name. And this is the page that we just created. It's got all the right copy. Now what should happen is I should get an email from Drip. Now I do believe that this email address is already confirmed inside of Drip, so I'm probably not going to receive the confirmation email, but I'll probably just receive the post confirmation email right away. I hope. And as you can see, my computer is super slow. I've actually added to my year-long goal. One of them is to buy like just the most baller Mac and just pimp it out to the max, so that I could have like 1,000,000 tabs open and the computer won't even bat an eyelash. That's what I want. I just want like just a pimped out, chromed out, tricked out machine. All right, so I'm not seeing the email. So let me refresh. Okay, and then sometimes it could be going to spam too. So you want to check that as well. Could be going to spam. Man, it's slow, isn't it? I really got to do something about that. It's actually affecting my work quality, to be honest. And these videos, if we're both being honest. Like, it's not fun to just wait for stuff to load when you're watching a video either. Oh, hurry up, man. Come on. Alright, I'm just going to load Gmail because inbox is slower. For some reason, inbox is slower. I don't know why. But it is. I'm going to close these other tabs too. Maybe that'll help. And but yeah, anyway, basically what's going to happen is that you're going to either, if you're already on the person's list, you're just going to receive the post confirmation email, so you'll be sent the campaign. Or if you're not on the list, then you'll receive the confirmation email. You'll click on the confirmation link, and then you will be taken directly to your content, plus you'll receive the campaign. Okay, so that's how it should work. So here it is. You can see that I'm already on the list, so it doesn't make sense to send me a confirmation email. So here's my malware removal doc. All right, and there it is. So that's pretty cool. So that's the whole procedure front to back. If you have any questions about any of this, please let me know. I know this is a lot of information to take in, and you might have some comments or you might be tripped up on some parts. Just hit me up. It is my goal to make this as clear and easy for you as possible. I can